What's something wrong with you witnessed as a child that you were oblivious to until you grew up? When I was in high school, I had a friend whose parents were almost never around. We joked a lot about how lucky he was. He could pretty much do whatever he wanted, stay over at anyone's house any night, and never had a curfew. It seemed like a freedom most of us envied. I started hanging out at his place more often, and that's when I noticed how different things were behind closed doors. His house was a mess. I don't mean just a little cluttered, it was filthy. Dirty dishes piled high in the sink, empty food containers stacked everywhere, trash scattered in corners and sometimes on the floor. There was a turtle tank in the kitchen between the stove and the sink, and the whole place smelled faintly musty and a little sour. The food was all microwave meals or junk food, nothing fresh or homemade. I remember there were always breadcrumbs on the couch or on the floor, and the carpets looked stained. It wasn't just messy. It felt like no one really cared about the place. My friend himself wasn't great at cleaning up. He would leave wrappers or crumbs around and wouldn't think twice about it. I guess when your whole life is lived in that kind of environment, it just becomes normal. He'd jump at any chance to crash at my place or at other friends' houses because he liked the quiet and the order. After a while, though, I started feeling uneasy about bringing him over too much, especially when he wouldn't tidy up after himself. One day, after he'd left a trail of breadcrumbs all over our living room couch, my mom got really upset. She said, "He should know better. What do his parents think, letting him act like this?" I shrugged and told her the truth about his home life, the condition of the house, how little his parents seemed to care. She was shocked. We never talked about it much before, and I guess she didn't realize it was that bad. She told me to make sure he always knew he was welcome to stay over whenever he needed, as long as he learned to clean up after himself and made sure he ate well. I agreed. It wasn't just about the house, though. Over time, I realized how much my friend was struggling. He was bright and funny, but there was something off, like he was holding back or always waiting for something to go wrong. His parents were absent, not just physically, but emotionally. There were times he seemed withdrawn, sometimes angry, sometimes just tired. We were teenagers, so we didn't talk about things like that much, but I noticed the signs. I don't know if his parents ever noticed. I never saw them interact with him beyond shouting from different rooms or leaving notes on the fridge. There were no family dinners, no checking in, no real guidance. It felt like he was raising himself. I kept inviting him over when I could. My mom always made sure he had a good meal, and sometimes we'd just hang out watching movies or playing video games. I could see he appreciated it. It wasn't just about the food or the clean space. It was having someone care enough to make sure he was okay. Years later, I lost touch with him. I graduated and moved away for college before he finished high school, and we drifted apart. The last I heard, he was still around the same area, working part-time and going to the community college nearby. He'd mellowed out a lot and was smoking weed, but at least he seemed to have some direction. I hope he's doing well now. Looking back, I think about how messed up it was that a kid could grow up so neglected, and most people would just laugh it off or say he was lucky because he had freedom. That kind of freedom isn't freedom. It's abandonment. It's a lack of the basic care that every kid deserves. I'm glad my mom stepped in, even if it was just in a small way. It probably didn't change everything for him, but it gave him a place to be safe for a little while. That friend taught me a lot about what people go through behind closed doors, and how sometimes what looks like luck is really just someone falling through the cracks. I wish I could have done more for him, but I'm glad I could be there, even in the smallest way when he needed it.